Yo, yo, it's the RedBlue podcast crew. Reviewing flicks, both old and new. Red and blue, not political. Nah, man, chill. It was Marvel versus DC till we lost that thrill. Don't stress the episode, don't ask the season. We double up franchises, don't ask for a reason. Mochi's got rules that nobody gets. His takes on movies, they're wild as it gets. He's got Superbald Mac and Gray by his side. Trying to keep it sane while they're in for the ride. Multi's measures are out of control, but in the end he's got the final role. Yeah, RedBlue podcast, come check the scene. Movies old and new, know what I mean?
And we are live talking about movies once again. Thank you for joining me, Superbald. Maybe at some point we may have Matt back. He was supposed to be here. Maybe something happened. How are you today?
I'm doing all right, you?
I am doing great, considering what's going on with the weather. It's getting cold now.
Yes, it is.
I start missing the summer. I was complaining it was too hot. Now I'm complaining it's too cold. Never happy. Never. Anyhow, today we have two movies to talk about. National Treasure, a movie that Matt has chosen, and Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. So this one, I chose it because I was like, you know what? What are the adventure type movies in 2004 to mash it with National Treasure? And even if it's kind of different because one is more sci-fi and the other one is more like a quest for something, it's two adventures that are quite entertaining. So I was like, you know what? Let's mash them together. And here we are. And I enjoyed both movie. And now I think it's the perfect moment to get into National Treasure. What did you think of National Treasure?
I had seen it before a long time ago, probably around the time it came out. I didn't really remember a whole lot about it. I just remember that it had Nicolas Cage in it, and it was a sort of an adventure movie. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't have a whole lot to say about it, honestly. But I thought it was a good adventure movie. Um, I knew though, like from the beginning, like the opening scene is like, oh, Sean Bean's there. He's gonna betray this dude. It's like he just plays those kinds of characters. Probably he's played too many characters since then, and that's why I got too many characters like that since then. That's why I got that impression. But I knew like right off the bat, yeah, that's what was gonna happen. Um, it has some elements of like Indiana Jones, Da Vinci Code, things like that. Puzzles, mysteries. I like that kind of thing, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite kind of movie. But yeah, it was entertaining. Um, had a good cast. Nicolas Cage, like he's become a bit of a punchline, unfortunately, but he can be a good actor when he wants to, and he was really good in this. He's been in other movies where he did fine performances, like Leaving Las Vegas, other films. So unfortunately, he's been in a lot of crap, and I think he's damaged his career by doing that. But he can be a good actor when he wants to. Diane Kruger, she was good. The only other thing I remember ever seeing her in was Inglorious Bastards, but yeah, she's a capable actress. Justin Bartha, I had to look him up because I was pretty sure I had not seen him in anything else. Then I looked at his IMDb, and he was in the Hangover movies, and that's where I saw him. He played Doug, the guy who gets misplaced in the first movie. Cameo by Christopher Plummer, the late great Christopher Plummer, amazing actor. Too bad he wasn't more in this film. Harvey Keitel, John Voight, great actors. This movie is like, it plays into a lot of conspiracy theories about Freemasons, the Knights Templar, and the Illuminati. It's fun if you don't take that stuff seriously. Unfortunately, there are way too many conspiracy nuts who thinks this kind of crap is all real. and it's led to the current situation we are in today. um, like in one of the neighboring cities of where I live, I once saw people demonstrating in front of a Masonic lodge. So there are people who still believe all that kind of crap about Freemasons and all that. Uh,
Maybe it's
Freema-
substance use that makes them do that. I don't know.
who knows? I don't know, man. Not even gonna get into that. But yeah, no, good pacing too. Good action. You have to suspend disbelief about a lot of things in a movie like this. But that's comes with the territory. You have to do the same thing for Indiana Jones and films like that too. Um, there's one scene that made me kind of depressed because it's when they're at the National Archive. Nicolas Cage and Justin Bartha's character, and they're actually like looking at the Declaration of Independence in its glass case, and they're reading lines off of it. And there was a line something about, when in moments of tyranny you must throw off that government and that kind of crap, and that kind of stuff. I'm not calling it crap because that's actually something I believe in, but if only Americans actually followed that, we would not be in. Anyways, I won't get it. But yeah, if only they actually practiced what they preached. But anyways, and yeah, I know there's a sequel which I've never seen. I think
And
there was.
there's also a TV show.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't know. I did some quick search because I was like, you know what, Matt is not around. Let's do a quick search there. And there's actually a TV show. I don't know if it's connected, but there's also a TV show.
Huh. I did not know that. Never heard of it. Huh. Um. Yeah. As I said, I didn't really have a whole lot to say about it. I don't know. There's some movies that I enjoy, but I have a hard time articulating why I like them. And I find better. I don't know why, but I find I'm better at articulating when I don't like a movie. Um,
We are the
but
same.
yeah, but it's an enjoyable popcorn movie. That's the way I see it, and I might watch it again sometime just to to have fun.
I feel you, man. Do you want to add anything else?
Nope.
I quite enjoyed it as well. So thank you, Matt, for suggesting that. If you watch the playback or something, that's a very fun movie, and I only had one issue, and that's a trope issue because I listened to a lot of the streams we did, and it's recurring. And next week that issue will be in both movies, in stereo. So you may have guessed it. My only issue with National Treasure, people could not aim in the big chase scene. I hate this crap. Like,
Yeah,
don't give them
I
gun.
knew you were gonna say that, and
No.
yeah, it is such a common trope. I find in more recent movies it's not as bad. I think just because it became so much of a cliche, and too many people would point it out. But in more recent movies, it's not as big a problem. But yeah, it definitely that definitely is present in this film. There's
There's
a couple of like I usually that usually doesn't bother me that much, but even in this movie, there were times I'm like, oh come on, like sometimes like they were hiding. Like I remember there was a scene. They're like an old wooden plank stopped a bullet. I'm like, that wouldn't happen in real life. The bullet would go through it.
and I will say this, like, you said it, in more modern movie, it's not as often, and it's true when you really look into it. The best example that comes to my mind was Monkey Man that came out in 2024, and that was one of my favorite movie last year. That was the action flick that has a lot of comedy and a lot of action and some gunplay, and they were very smart on how they did the gunplay, so it was believable, and they tried to really tone down the gunplay. We had gunplay, but the way they addressed it and did it, it made sense. And at some point, if they gave gun to the bad guys, which they didn't to make it work, they would have broke that gunplay thing they did right. So at some
Hmm.
point, instead of giving them guns, they gave them machetes, sword, and other like close combat weapons. And I think this is how you get around gunplay. You don't give them gun if there's no logical way of protecting yourself and such. And there was another movie that came out this year that had gunplay that made sense. That was Novocaine. It didn't even add that much gunplay in it, but the gunplay that was in it made sense. So, like in more modern movie, I think they stopped doing that kind of BS. Oh, he cannot aim. But go back 20 years ago, it wasn't the case. Um, so that was my only issue with National Treasure. I don't have a lot to say, but I did enjoy the movie. And again, I feel like a broken record because like I say that so often. It's almost my catchphrase outside of maybe I'm not crazy or maybe I'm crazy. That's like my second catchphrase. But I'd say
Hey, it's your
the
thing, man. So embrace it.
I'd say the main character was well shown to be smart. I think it was very clever, and um, Nicolas Cage really sold me on. He knows what he's doing, and I think he's a very good actor, even in lesser movies like Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. It was quite good, and the movie was terrible, but it was good in it. So I think Nicolas Cage is a very capable and great actor. Um, the group finding the treasure at the very end felt very earned. I enjoyed that. You're in for that trip, and they find it. This was very cool. The lore was enjoyable. The group searching the icy place was entertaining. The humor, I think the humor was one of the highlights. And the movie was very competent at showing overtelling. More of that, please. The heist was very fun. The escape with the map was really fun. And I see cool music twice. That means I really enjoy the music. And I see a perfect ending. I think that movie was just a fun trip. And you said it, that's a fun popcorn flick. The sequel, man, I don't know. I'm scared. Because sometimes
I haven't seen it, so I can't say. I know there was supposed to be a third movie at some point, and I think it got canceled, but I'm not sure.
I think like a lot of sequels and a lot of movies are made out of greed, and I feel like the sequel might be one of these because I don't see how you really need a follow up, but they did one
Yeah,
because the
it,
movie
it,
did lots of money. It did 3 times its budget.
it's one of those movies that I don't think was ever meant to be a franchise, and they turned it into one just because it made money. There's a lot of movies that are like that that were never meant to have sequels, but then they were so popular that they ended up making them.
Yeah, yeah. So I got a response from Matt, so maybe it will up in. But I think National Treasure is enjoyable, and I'm glad Matt chose that because I don't know if I would have seen it. I knew it existed. I've heard about it, but it was my first time watching. Like a lot of the movies we are covering, I know they exist. I just didn't get the chance of watching these, and here we are, National Treasure. So I do you want to add anything on that?
Not really, no.
Okay, well, this is the perfect moment to introduce Matt. Hello
Hi.
there. How
Hello.
are you, Matt?
I'm fine. Sorry,
Hey,
I'm late for the podcast, but I'm here. So yeah,
all
I'm
right, it's
happy
good.
to
Good
be
to see
here.
you, man.
You
You
are
too.
forgiven. You are
Thank,
forgiven. We
thank.
were into National Treasure, movie you chose, and now that's our goal. We gave our review. We both liked it, I think. Am I right on that, Super Bold? We both like it.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I liked it.
thank
I
you for
enjoyed it.
suggesting that. And now, why did you pick it, Matt?
I choose this movie. Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't think that was Super Bold,
No, it
and
wasn't.
it's not Gray.
That
So
was
it's
me,
you.
maybe. But this movie was one of my favorite movie when I was younger. I see this movie so many times. Was when I was at school. I love this type of movie about adventure, like Indiana Jones. I like this kind of movie. So this movie is the same thing, but with Nicolas Cage, and he's played this guy's chase a loose treasure in the world, and he gives all this life to find this treasure, and the adventure is good, and is one for me is one of the best movie Nicolas Cage have done. He's not over the top. He's usually this actor is over the top when he does a role in the movie, but in this one he's perfect. He's not too much, and he's a cool character, and this duo with Diane Kruger perfect well, and I like the way he find the treasure. And that Chernbin is the villain of the movie. So many good things about this movie. It's not a perfect movie. It's not an exceptional movie. It's not the same level as Indiana Jones, but for me, this movie is very good. I like to see the movie many times. I see it, maybe like 20 times when I was younger, and I want to see the movie again and again. I see the sequel, and I see the TV show, because the two movie create a TV show 2 year ago, no, 3 year ago, 2022, on Disney Plus, but the TV show was cancelled after one season. That bad, because I love this universe. I want to see more, and for so many years we wait about a third one to complete the trilogy, and Nicolas Cage is on to do it. But for so many years, Nicolas Cage had not a good. Now this career is better, but back then he has some issue. He used to accept all movie people give to him. So you have so many bad movie with Nicolas Cage in it.
Yeah.
That
That's because he was massively in debt, so he was literally taking everything he was offered just to pay off his debts.
yeah, exactly. That was sad for this big actor. Back in the 18 and 19, Nicolas Cage was so a big actor, and after that, he was so in debt, and he lose this charm and this prestige. It was so sad. But now he's back. He doing so many good movie in the past few years. Some movie are so weird, I would say, but he's worked great because he's in it. And Nicolas Cage was one of the best for me. National Treasure was one of the best he had done, and the sequel was good too. So yeah, and I am a big. Um I'm a big fan of history. I studied history. I want to be a teacher about history. So a movie talk about that subject. Talk to me much very well. And this movie, the Treasure, is linked to the story of the independence of United States of America. So I like this story. So yeah, and the cinematography is so beautiful. Now this movie will be made. All the place will be in a green screen. Back then, you have so many real shot, real
On
place,
location.
yeah, real location where the movie take place. The movie is so real for that. Yeah, I can say again this movie is good, but for me it was one of the best movies when I was younger. So yeah, a great adventure movie back then, and now too is rare to have that. It's the genre we would not care so much anymore, I would say. Recently, Apple TV released a movie with John Krasinski and Natalie Portman. It's about the Fountain of Youth, Fountain of Youth. The movie was okay, but it was not like
Content of youth.
yeah, it was not like a national treasure for me. It was a good entertainment, but not at the same level that national treasure have done for me. So I think say all I want to say about this movie. I feel the first movie is better than the second. The second tried to be much bigger. Is work, but for me the originality of the first movie is unique for that. And I think for me the first movie is better, but not maybe not the case for you guys, but for me the first one for me is the best. But the two movie are great, and I hope see a third one. But after the fail of the TV show, I think is not going to be. It's sad, but Disney Plus tries something with this TV show, and that not work for what it is. So yeah, yeah, maybe one day with little hope we'll see a third one. So yeah, that's
We
all.
didn't see the sequel, but now that you said it was good, I think I will give it a shot, a chance at maybe enjoying it. We will see. So, do you want to add anything else?
Not now, maybe after I listen to you. But for
Okay.
now, I think say all I want to say about this movie.
Well, we were on the ending of that first movie review,
Oh,
so I will share my grade, except if Superbald would like to add something else.
Nope, I don't have anything to add.
Okay, well, I will give a solid and well deserved 9.7 out of 10. What about you, Superbald?
For me, this is going to be, I'd say, 7.5.
And what about you, Matt?
I give 8 of 10 for the movie. Like I say, one of my favorite movie was when younger. I know this movie not perfect. You have so little problem about the storytelling and some action. And I'm not fan of the actor John Voight. I think he's not a good actor. He's played the father of Nicolas Cage. He's okay, but I not feel the June not work great for me. But other than that, Nicolas Cage, Diane Kruger, Sean Bean, all are perfect in the role, and the story is so interesting, so captivating. In the end, is a good entertainment. This movie give what he is supposed to give. So a solid 8 of 10 for this movie.
Well, thank you a lot for sharing. Now, let's go into Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. What did you think of that movie, Matt?
So yeah, it's the first time I see this movie. I know this movie exists before that. I never take the chance to see this movie. It's interesting because I'm a big fan of comic book, and this movie is basically a comic book uh, in the movie. Like all the movies, a big comic movie. Like you read the comic book, the movie is the same thing. The thing is, all the movie is in a it's not real. All is a green screen, and all the way the movie is filming, you have the feeling you read a comic book, and the stories sometimes it's over the tops. So many cliche about this era of the comic book because the story take place in the 1550. And it is a story, a thriller, black thriller with action, espionage, spying. Sorry, I lost my
Spy.
English.
Yeah, yeah, Spy. Spy
But
stuff.
I like the story. I don't feel the story is well done, but it's okay story with a good actor. Jude Law is a good hero. He's played this pilot. Go to fight this new menace because in the story you are in the New York City and 50, and you have this mystery menace attack the city with a giant robot, and he come with this jet and try to find the purpose of that, and go all the world with this ex girlfriend, journalist played by Gwyneth Paltrow, and he find the many mystery and many place in the world to discover. I like, and again, is a adventure movie like National Treasure we talked before. I don't think this movie is better. It's okay. I feel the movie has something unique. The way it's filming, the idea to create a comic book for the movie is interesting. Kerry Curran does something unique with this movie. Not all everything worked for me, but in the end, I feel entertaining, and I like so many things in the movie. I don't think I want to see the movie again soon, but it was a unique experience to for a movie to see. And yeah, it's okay in the end. I know this movie was a big fail when it was released, and I think it's the way the movie was done. The people don't like the way it was done because it was so out of nowhere what was made. I understand that. But that's why the cinema does need to be experienced thing, and this movie is a good example of that. I feel now the movie is a more more people love this movie to back then. So yeah, last thing I want to say, I can I can see for me. Like I said, I'm a big comic book guy, and when I see the character of Angelina Jolie, she played this general, and and she controlled this heliporter on the sky. That film for me is the Nick Fury and the Marvel comic. For me, it's the same thing, but with a female character, like she will play Maria Hill, but with the look of Nick Fury. For me, I have some element of Marvel comic in it. I love that. I was a little weird at start, but I see I see that the director is a big comic fan, and you can see that with many elements. But for this element, you can see is a Marvel fan comic. So yeah, like I say, it's a okay entertainment and unique experience to see in list one time. But other than that, I think that's all I want to say about this movie.
Thank you for sharing, Superbald. What did you think of Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow?
I had never seen it. I had heard of it, but never seen it. Excuse me. And I ended up enjoying more than I thought I would. I'm not gonna go and call it a great movie, but it's an okay movie. Um, I know there's some of the pacing's a little slow at times. And as Matt pointed out, there's like lots of CG in this movie. It's almost completely CG. I did not pick up on it trying to look like a comic book because I didn't know that this was based on a comic book. But now that Matt said it, I see it. But some of the CG is really well done, and it still holds up really well. Other parts haven't aged as well. Looks real fake. It looks more like video game cutscenes. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah,
Um,
I see that too.
but yeah, a lot of the aesthetic choices I liked, the lighting and stuff. Um, this obviously has a lot of homages to 1930s films, film noir. It's especially like Fritz Lang's Metropolis. You guys have probably never even heard of that unless you went to film school. But it's a movie from the 1920s, a German movie that's has
That's old.
when you think 1930s aesthetic, that movie is like it probably established that aesthetic. And again, it's retro futuristic. Like it's meant to look for futuristic, but the way the past thought the future would look, kind of thing. Um, and also homages to like King Kong and movies from that era. Um, one thing I did find that I did like, it's more of a is just more of like an Easter egg for people who are in the know. But we see an airship docked at the Empire State Building, and when the Empire State Building was originally built, it was intended for that. The airships would be able to dock at the mast at the top of the tower. It never happened. I think they attempted it once, and just because of like the massive air currents created by the tower, it just was not practical or safe. And also, airships kind of went out of fashion shortly after that with the Hindenburg crash because they were really not safe at all because they used hydrogen. Um, but yeah, I like that. One thing I did find funny, and I'm pretty sure, like, if anybody under the age of 20 were watch this movie now, they would not understand why Gwyneth Paltrow only had two pictures left on her camera. They wouldn't understand that, like, you can't take infinite pictures that you like you can, like, on a cell phone or a digital camera. That, you were limited by the length of film that was in your camera. um, yeah. Just as an aside that has nothing to do with that, but I know someone whose kid, she was trying to show old pictures to her kid, like print, like, actual printed pictures, and he went like this on the picture to try to, like, zoom in, and he didn't understand why it didn't work. um, anyways. Good cast, Jude Law. I've always been a fan of Jude Law. I think he's a phenomenal actor. Giovanni Ribisi, capable actor. He did a good job in this. Gwyneth Paltrow, I know who she is. Obviously, I haven't seen her in much other than, like, the Iron Man movies and stuff like that, and a few crappy romantic comedies from way back when. She's an okay actress. I think she did a good job here. This is obviously before she started selling pseudoscientific quackery on her Goop website, and I absolutely hate her for that, because I hate pseudoscience and anything that and alternative medicine that's very damaging to people's health. And anyways, Angelina Jolie, which honestly I haven't seen her in anything recently. Mind you, I have not seen a lot of recent movies, so
I'm
maybe
with you. I don't remember any recent movies with her.
yeah. But she's all
She have done Maria this year on
oh
Netflix.
okay.
I didn't see that.
Mhm.
Is it worth watching, Matt?
I don't see the movie. It's a biopic about this Italian singer, opera singer. The movie has good
Oh,
review.
is it a movie about Maria Callas?
Maybe I don't know his
Okay.
full name, but it's an Italian opera singer, famous.
Oh, okay. Probably
Uh,
it's probably about Maria Callas then. Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's your answer. She is there. I didn't know that movie existed.
Me neither. Me neither.
You're welcome.
I am so out of touch with recent movies. Um, I do see the parallel now with Nick Fury that Matt pointed out. Uh,
Yeah.
Again, I'm not familiar with all, like, the origin of the characters from the Marvel movies, so I don't know. I know this movie came out before the whole Marvel franchise, but I don't know if Nick Fury was a character in the comic books and before that. But anyways, yeah, I do see kind of see the parallel. But yeah, she was pretty capable in this movie. Did a British accent, and I've been told by actual British people that she's one of the few Hollywood actors who can decently pull off a British accent.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh,
I want to say that because she have done two movie for Disney, Malefic.
yeah,
Um,
and also in Tomb Raider, her character was also
yeah,
British.
she's very good for with British accent. It's not easy
Hmm.
for American to do that.
No,
British actor can do American accent, but when the American try and so many fail to try that. But Angelina, as she has a great accent, British accent. Good
yeah,
point.
like most, like, British, Scottish, Irish, Australian, New Zealand, and all, they're all very good at. Most of them are very good at doing American accents. I think it's just because they're so exposed to it from a young age from all the American media. I find they're better at doing that than the other way around. Some Americans can really pull it off, but most of them can't.
Yeah.
um, and I've known a few British people and Australian people who've told me that is like, yeah, they we can tell when they're not really English or British or Australian or whatever. Um, this is actually something I think is becoming more common. I think this was one of the first movies to do this. The scene, well, there's two scenes in the movie where we see the face of Laurence Olivier, a very famous old Hollywood actor. He had been dead for about probably 10, 15 years when this movie was made. He was the face when they, at some point where they're going into the office of, I forget the character's name, but the evil mastermind, and there's, like, big giant face that appears and says, "Who dares to come into my lair?" Whatever. That was Laurence Olivier. Um,
Yeah,
and,
he played
and yeah,
Doctor Tutenkov.
I'm sorry.
His name is Dr. Tutenkov.
Yeah, yes, that guy. And that face was, yeah, Laurence Olivier, but he had been dead for a good while when this movie was made. And even that, even then, his face is him as a very young man. So they took old footage from old movies and reworked it, and they manipulated his voice. They didn't recreate it with AI because that wasn't really a thing back then, but they did take like actual clips of dialogue from here and there and manipulate it in ways to make it sound, coherent. Um, I'm not sure why they did that. I don't know. I think you could have just easily used any. I guess maybe because this movie set takes place in 1930s and all that, they wanted to use an actor from old Hollywood. But Laurence Olivier wasn't even an actor yet. I think at that period, I think he more became famous in 40s, 50s, 60s in movies like Spartacus and things like that. But I don't know. Who knows? I absolutely love the ending when Gwyneth Paltrow takes the last picture with her camera, and Jude Law just looks at her and says, "Lens cap." Cut to black. I loved it.
Yeah,
I would too. That was a great scene.
I loved it.
yeah, me too.
um, yeah, I don't know if I'd ever watch this again, but no, I didn't hate it. It was fun, entertaining. You know,
I feel you. Do you
I
want
want.
to add anything else?
nope.
Well, I guess that's my go
I,
now.
I will just add a little thing. I forgot to tell before. Something funny about the movie. We have the two actors play Dumbledore and the Harry Potter franchise. Is in this movie. Jude Law play the
That's
young
true.
the Dumbledore in the Fantastic Beasts 2
Mhm.
and 3, and you have Michael Gambon play Dumbledore for all the Harry Potter movies except the first two. So it was funny to see the two Dumbledore actors in the same movie. Just a little fact to say
That
about
is,
it.
I didn't even pick up on that, but that is true. That is
Yeah,
absolutely true.
yeah. You
Thank you
can.
for sharing.
Yeah.
So I guess that's my go now. As much as a lot of the CGI did age well, I think some of it really was off-putting, and I compare that to a lot of video games that came out uh, during that time.
Yeah,
And the said video games, they were looking better. I'm sorry, movie. Like some of it worked, but all of these moments where I'm like, video games looked better back then. That was rough. That was
yeah.
my first
That's why I
issue with
said
the
like some of
movie.
it actually looks like cutscenes from a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the movie parts in video games between like the different levels and stuff.
yeah, I'm with you on that, and it's unfortunate because again, parts of the CGI did work, but the part that didn't work looked worse than than the video games that were coming out at that time. And I used to play lots of video games, so I know what I'm talking about right now. Um, my second issue is I think the characters were forgettable. There's not a single character I'm like, man, I remember what was that character arc, or I remember exactly their character trait. I I found them forgettable.
I
It's a
can agree with you. Particularly the romance about the two main characters. I don't
it,
think is a great romance at all.
it's unfortunate because I think it's not the actor's fault. I think it's really maybe the script or the writing behind the characters that's the issue. Because I think the actors were solid. It's just that they were given nothing. Um, Now the third and last issue I had is I think the villain were very forgettable, and that's the crux. That should be the best part of your movie. You should remember a movie for the villain, not necessarily the hero, and it's just
Mhm.
not the case here. Before you mentioned his name, I actually forgot his name. But when you mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, that's the bad guy. You're right, that's the bad guy. But again, I sound like I hated this movie, but no, I really enjoyed it. It's just that I had these three issues with that movie. Let's get into the likes. I think the movie was great at showing over telling, and the machine and their design was really cool when they were not really of putting in the looks of it because of CGI, but I think the machine were really nice. The blonde girl was entertaining, but again, she was forgettable as a character. But I think the actress was doing her best, and that's what I mean by she was entertaining. She still had that presence. Um, and my fourth like, sorry, the action was really cool, and I thought the lore was fun, and the quest felt like a true adventure, and the lore was enjoyable. Um, that trip was just a fun trip. Is it peak cinema? I don't think so. Is it the worst thing I've seen? I don't think so. Um, the double cross at some point in the movie was very fun, and I think the humor was good. It worked very well, and it did age very well. A lot of movies in the early 2000s, when even TV shows, like sometimes you're like the humor just didn't age well, but here I feel like the humor did age well. Maybe I'm crazy, but I do think the humor was one of the highlights of that
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
And the ending, I liked it. And that entire let's just make sure the last picture I'm taking is a good one. I like that aspect. It's like they valued these pictures so much, and just like what you said, kids today won't understand because we have access to so much data. Go back 20 years ago, it wasn't like that. Overall, I like that movie. Not as much as National Treasure, but I feel like we had two great adventures this week. I don't have a lot more to say. It's a bit unfortunate because, again, I like that movie. It's a fun trip. And I'd say I highly recommend. Would I rewatch? I don't think so. But as a first viewing, as a first time, it's a fun trip. It's an hour and 40 minutes. It's not that long, and you just escape the real world, and that's that has the ending feel good. Um, so I will ask the panel: is anyone adding anything else?
I don't
No, not
think
really.
so.
Well, this is the perfect time for the grade out of 10. What would be your grade out of 10, Superbald?
For me, this is going to be. I'd say I'm kind of hesitating between 6.5 and 7 because it's not a bad movie. But I think I'm gonna have to go with like 6.5.
Okay, what about you, Matt?
I feel the same as Super. I would give like a 6.5. It's a okay movie, okay entertainment, unique experience for cinema. It's an adventure movie. It take he build. I like to see a comic book. I like that, and I like the thriller noir style in it. It was a good idea. And Jude Law is a phenomenal actor and he great in it. But he great. He done the job well. He's a perfect hero for the kind of movie. It's not a big role for him. But other than that, you're not as, so much interesting to talk about this movie. So yeah, it's a 6 or 5, maybe a little more if I see the movie again and I take time to see all the detail, the small detail about this movie. But for me, it's a 6.5.
Thank you very much for sharing. My grade, I will be the crazy one, but I will give a 8 out of 10 because I think it's a great movie.
You
I
gave
liked it.
more for that than National Treasure.
No, I gave 9.7. I
Oh,
gave more.
sorry, sorry. Continue.
National Treasure was better than this, but again, I liked Sky Captain. It was a fun trip, a nice an hour and 40 minutes. Um, and yeah, fun trip. So this is the outro. What do you have going on your end of the internet, Superbald?
Nothing.
Well, this is business as usual. What about you, Matt?
Same old, same old. I see stuff and I write about them, but in French, no, not for the audience of your podcast. Other than that, nothing new. Maybe I will. It's not 100% sure, but some of my friends talked to me to create a podcast. So maybe I will start my own podcast soon. We'll see. I'm not sure it will work, but maybe we'll try.
Yeah, it's worth a try.
Yeah,
Let me know if you need someone.
yeah.
I'm quite occupied because there's a lot going on in my life right now, but I'm always open.
Yeah, I would talk to you too when the thing will be started. But other than that, same old, and you, Multi.
Well, we get big weeks because there's a lot going on. The year is almost over, which is
Yeah.
surprising.
It just flew by.
It
Yeah,
flew by.
man.
We're already at the end of
It's-
the summer too, and I just don't believe it.
It's crazy. So things are ramping up. I want to pack a 20 episode mainstream movie reviews before December, and we are at 4. So that means almost 1 or 2 mainstream movie review per week. This week, I talked about the Conjuring franchise. I liked it. That was yesterday. Very fun stream with a ranking. Tomorrow, Dexter discussion, Dexter Resurrection, because the TV show ended last week, the first season, and that was very enjoyable. Is it the best Dexter had to offer? I don't think so. It's actually in the lower end, unfortunately, but I can't wait to talk about it tomorrow. Next Monday, The Long Walk is a new movie inspired by Stephen King that will come out Friday. So next Monday, The Long Walk at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the usual time. Next Tuesday, we talk about James Bond again, GoldenEye, and Tomorrow Never Dies. I think that's the other one. I'm pretty sure it's the other one. And the other Wednesday, more Dexter, because for the next month, there's a lot of Dexter content in the making. Outside of that, well, life happens.
Yeah.
We are all quite occupied, and backstage, I will let you know, Matt, of something Superbald and I talked about for in 2 weeks. So I think we are out for today. Thank you, guys. We had a great show, and we are out.
Yeah, RedBlue podcast. Come check the scene. Movies old and new. Know what I mean? The RedBlue podcast. Come check the scene. Movies old and new. Know what I mean?